What's exciting about this episode is, Merv, you went with 5, perfect score.
I went with 5. Yes.
Yeah, you're going to recommend this to everyone. In fact, you probably already have.
Yeah.
And I went with 1. No one's going to hear from me about this movie after this show. So
am I doing this? I'm not doing this solo. You just blink off. See ya.
I'm done. But actually, there is one thing I want to do before I leave. Actually, before I talk about the things I liked and did not like. We have a sponsor to talk about today. So, Merv, are you ready to hear about our sponsor?
Yeah.
This is AnimeShin. Are you ready?
All right, awesome. So today's episode is brought to you by 3 Wolf Moon t-shirts. This is an older version. I've had this one for many years and it served me well. But if you want to get a 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt not unlike this, please check the links in the description. They'll be down there. And before we go any further, I want to read to you some of the reviews of this about the 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt. Does that sound okay, Merv?
Yeah, that's a perfect t-shirt for Dungeons and Dragons.
You are psychic. The power of the 3 Wolf Moon has already taken over for you, Merv, and you'll hear why in just a minute. But just one of the styles of shirts on Amazon has 4,200 5-star reviews. It's a 4.7 out of 5. So you know you're buying quality when that many people have been giving it a perfect score, and it has a 4.7 out of 5. But I wanted to read a couple of reviews real quick. All right. Review number 1. My boyfriend, who is already very hot, bought it and wore it, and he now looks even hotter. I can't resist him. That shirt has powers. So that's a reason to get the 3 Wolf Moon shirt.
Yeah, that sounds real.
It is. These are all real.
You're right.
Don't even worry about it. Received this shirt just in time for my job interview after seeing my awesome attire. I can't. All right, get a hold of yourself. Received this shirt just in time for my job interview. After seeing my awesome attire, the interviewing manager offered me his job. Of course, I accepted. I asked, "What are you going to do now?" He said he would like to post for the position that I'd come in to interview for. I told him that he was not qualified, but I did wish him well in his future endeavors. So, 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt lands perfect job. I bought this shirt as part of my Halloween costume. My best hopes were that it delivered on the promise of turning me into a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I figured I'd still have an awesome shirt to wear to the Halloween party. Instead, I was transformed into a disappointed golden retriever. On the bright side, I got a bunch of belly rubs from attractive people. So, look, these reviews aren't all winners, but
I grew up with golden retrievers. They're great.
Amazing dogs.
Yeah.
Here's another one that's not necessarily positive.
No one's going to pet a wolf.
That's true. That's very true. For how negative the review was, it probably was best case scenario, to your point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Buyer beware. Wore this for my bachelor party. Did not have a good time. Too much attention from women. Sad.
I don't know why you'd wear it at a bachelor party. You got to know.
Yeah. This shirt has powers. So I think it's good as we promote this shirt as our first sponsor that people know that we're honest, right? We want to set a precedence that we are honest with people.
Mm-hmm.
We give them the good and we give them the bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I work in a nursing home. One of my residents loves wolves and wanted a t-shirt with them on it. She was ecstatic when she asked if I could order her one since she did not have a credit card. She loves the shirt and can't wait to get another one. Boring. But
yeah, that's super boring.
Yeah, it's a review.
Yeah.
But I had to have a palette cleanser for these other ones.
Okay.
Bought the glow-in-the-dark version. Yes, it comes in glow-in-the-dark version. For my wife, and she was so excited, but she was expecting only a shirt. The package that arrived contained so much more. She slipped the shirt on, and the wolves started glowing green, then red, then each color of the rainbow erupted from her chest and broke through our ceiling in a column of majesty. She began to float upward as if pulled by the rainbow, but I snatched her hand and ran outside with her to see how far the rainbow went. To our surprise, it was more than one rainbow. It was a double rainbow. Now outside, each of the three glowing wolves leapt from the shirt and ran up the rainbow road, howling as they went. I don't know where they ended up, but I hope they are living good lives over the rainbow.
What did it mean, though?
No idea, but I guess now the shirt only has the moon. But his wife still likes it. The bad news is he had to hire a contractor to fix his house because the rainbows burst through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Here's your Dungeons and Dragons. I'd been preparing for months to be the dungeon master for a group of players who were brand new to Dungeons and Dragons. I read the books. I bought the dice. I thought I had everything prepared for what I had hoped to be a fun and engrossing evening. 5 days before the game, I knew there was something missing. I bought energy drinks. That wasn't it. I created a playlist of music based on the soundtrack to Conan the Barbarian. That wasn't it. Then I passed the hall mirror and I saw myself, non-authoritative, pallid, weak, and most importantly, just too mundane. The epiphany struck. I ordered the 3 Wolf Moon shirt with express shipping. It was lost in the cogs of my local post office, and I thought about canceling that night, but my faith preserved me, and I was rewarded with the arrival of my power totem the day of the game. I hand washed it in cold water, and as the rich indigo dye swirled around in my hands, I could feel the power and confidence of a 3-wolf pack shudder into my veins like an IV of pure awesomeness. The shirt fits perfectly. The adventure was a rousing success, and the confidence and authority that was channeled directly from the moon over my heart made me a god that night. I may have to purchase another color just to feel the primal rush surge through me from another chromatic perspective.
Yeah, I can believe that one. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, if all 5 people that watch this don't rush out and get a 3 wolf.
We're up to 5?
Yeah. We've increased. We've increased since last episode. If they don't go out and click that link and buy a 3 wolf moon.
That's 15 wolves.
You're right. That's a large pack of wolves. So thank you to our sponsor, 3 Wolf Moon t-shirts. We're excited to have you aboard. And all joking aside, if you're interested, the link is in the description.
Excellent.
All right. Next, what do? We talk about what this movie, Akira, is about. We've talked about what it's about. We've given our ratings, which are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Merve, I will let you go ahead and talk about what you think about the story from a writer's perspective.
Regale us with your wit, storyteller.
All right. This story does 2 things. It does a lot of things really well, but 2 things that I think make it digestible for many audiences. The first is there's a weaker version of this story that follows Kay, because she is another compelling young character who could be a protagonist. She starts off in the Resistance and does a lot of the same things Kaneda does. Kaneda. What Kaneda does.
Kaneda, like the Wrath of Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kaneda.
Kaneda.
Buried alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That. Kaneda.
So she does a lot of the same things Kaneda does, but already knows too much. And what I mean by that is Kaneda gives us an everyman or an audience surrogate. So when he joins, quote unquote, the Resistance, we can be told a bunch of things that are happening because they're telling him, which is in turn telling us. Whereas if we're just following Kay and Ryu, the leader of the Resistance, goes, you know why we're fighting, because we are trying to overthrow this authoritarian, and they start talking about things that they both know. it really feels like exposition and the audience gets bored. But if Kaneda comes in and he goes, what's going on here? And Kei can tell him stuff, he works as an audience surrogate. So things can be explained to him and we follow it without feeling like we're just being talked to or looking at these characters like, what are they doing? Why are they telling each other what they already know? The second one is a deep cut. I'm going to use the term objective correlative. So we've talked a couple times about theme on this show, and a lot of shows and movies have multiple themes, but one of the big themes, the capital A abouts in this story, is it's about freedom. And so if you have an objective correlative, that is an object that correlates to the theme, objective correlative. And in this, it's Kaneda's bike. Kaneda's bike represents freedom. It represents it in multiple ways. It's brightly colored, where a lot of the other things in this world are very dark. It can take him places. People all want it and are jealous of him, of it. It's what Tetsuo ultimately wants, is freedom to be kind of himself, to not feel like he's in the shadow of someone else. So all in all, as an object, this motorcycle represents the theme of the story. And that's why it's in there in terms of from a writing point of view, because it could be in cars, it could be on horses, it could be a lot of different things that you could do, but nothing symbolizes freedom metaphorically like a motorcycle where you are open to the air and everyone's chasing each other. And so that's why this motorcycle is iconic, why it's memorable, and why people connect to it when they watch this movie, even if they don't know why they're connecting to it, besides the fact that it just looks cool.
Yeah, I have a motorcycle, and it is in a motorcycle license, not near as cool as that bike at all. So there is a part, and I bet you will be able to analyze this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part where Tetsuo tries to take the bike.
Yep.
And he can never figure out how to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's got to be a thematic reason as to why that is.
Tetsuo is looking for other people, constantly looking for other people to give him freedom. But you have to get it for yourself. Fortune is a woman, and if you want her, you must take her. That is from The Prince.
Oh, Machiavelli?
Machiavelli. Yeah, it's Machiavelli from The Prince. Fortune favors the bold is how we say it also.
Yeah.
But he said it in a much more crude manner because he was Machiavelli.
Yeah, and he's hardcore.
But yeah, I would say it's probably, I didn't really think about that scene or analyze it, but Tetsuo is the main character of this story. Kaneda is the protagonist, but Tetsuo is the main character, which is a clever writing mode to pull off and doesn't happen very often, but it works here. And Tetsuo is constantly looking for others. He's showing off. He's trying to get approval, and that's not how you gain freedom. You don't do it with someone else's bike. You got to do it with your own bike.
Even if it's a 1983 Yamaha Virago 500.
Right. It was...
Yes, that's my bike. So is that it for the story from a writer's perspective?
Those are the two big things. I didn't want to get too...
I liked it.
I could talk about the protagonist and the main character stuff, but I think those are the two kind of big things. And plus, just I wanted to get objective correlative in there. That's because that's a deep cut that people don't know. But when you start watching for it, you'll see it over and over and over again.
All the time. Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I can think it's got to be in a lot of stories that have kind of those iconic... I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but like a Thor's hammer or like a anything that has kind of that object that, what's the correlative of a lightsaber?
I thought of Star Wars actually, and I think the lightsaber is more, it's not that a lightsaber is an objective correlative, it's that Anakin's lightsaber is the objective correlative.
Yeah.
Because that is what you get from your family. And that Star Wars is all about connections and what you get from your family and loyalty.
Nice. All right. Now that we've covered that, let's get into the diss track.